Welcome to another session. In this session, I'm going to show you how to write a DAX code to make a relationship active whenever we want to use the table. But before that, I can show you how you can make this active. So the first thing is to take off this and make the relationship between the calendar table not to be active. So you right click on this, go to properties. On the property, you tick on this, you untick this, make this relationship active, and click OK. Now you see that the relationship between the sales target and the calendar is not active currently. So we go back to this one, to this relationship between the sales target and the executive. Right click, go on properties, click on make this relationship active, then OK. Now you can see that the sales executive table and the sales target table is active now, but this is not what we wanted. We want the calendar table to be active with the sales executive table. So I'm going to return it back to the initial stage by clicking on this, right click, properties, then I'll make it inactive. Okay, and make this active again, properties, make this relationship active, and OK. Now you can see that it's back to the default. Now let's go back to the table visualization on report view rather. So on the report view, there is a relationship between the sales executive table and the sales targets table. If I go on this, there is something you would notice that these values still don't change. And the reason why it's not changing is because the relationship to the executive table is not yet active. How do we make it active? So by using a DAX code. I'll go back to the function in which I've written before in the total sales. The DAX code where we've got this. So in this code, I'm going to put a user relationship keyword into this. So first what I will do is that I will do calculate. See, so sum of sales, comma, go to the next line, that's you hold your shift and enter key, then type user relationship between executive table, which is where the two column in which you establish the relationship, sales executive, comma, then we go on to the sales target, still on sales executives, bracket close, then your enter key. If you look at this now, the QTY has changed because I've been able to use this function to establish the relationship between the measure of total target quantity. So if I go on 2022, the values will change. If I go on 2020, the value will change. But for total target revenue is still the same. So I need to do the same thing on the total target rev function code and put the user relationship. So I'll go back to total rev, the measure, put calculate, shift enter to the next line, then after this comma, sorry for that, I just made a mistake which is not okay, shift enter, user relationship between the executive table on sales executive, comma, sales targets on sales executive, bracket close. Then I'll use the enter key, and after this finish loading, you will see that a relationship would be established between this, and you see that this total target ref is now changing with the slicer that we've got. If you go on to the 2021, you've got this changing. You go on to 2022, you've got this changing. So this is pretty okay, because the reason why we are establishing this target file is for us to be able to see how each of these sales executives is performing based on their revenue and the target that was set for them by the organization, in terms of revenue and quantity. So this is very okay, and in this lecture we've been able to establish how you can create a relationship through DAX when the modeling relationship is inactive, but on your visuals it is active. Thank you for this section.